Hello, I'm making a video about my greenhouse, and here is my little balcony greenhouse, and it belongs to Kenny, Paul and myself, and it was very hard to set this up to say the least, but Paul was insistent and he managed to get it done even after I left. So here are our first plants in the greenhouse. We got strawberries, they're getting red now, so they're doing very well in here. And you see in that bigger pot is an avocado tree growing. The avocado tree I got from our compost, because in the compost, composting is the most essential part. That's the foundation of living life cycle and biodynamic and organic, the highest form of organic plant growing. And so what happens in the compost, it gets very warm. We have these different different garbage barrels outside, and we use them only for composting. When one is full, it gets to stand and gets rain in it, and it decomposes itself because earthworms go into it and they recycle everything into really rich earth soil. And so I was getting earth out of one that was already almost fully decomposed, and I found in the middle of that newly decomposed soil there was an avocado seedling, like growing out of that really large egg-size avocado seed. And so at the bottom it was kind of like split a little bit, and at the bottom there were some roots coming out. At the top was the seedling, and the seedling now is almost 2 feet in length, and it has leaves. And I planted it in this pot there, also with our new earth soil together, and some other nice things are starting to grow in there. I don't know what that is. So something that is native to the area that was here. And I also seeded out some bell pepper seeds. I don't know if some of those are bell pepper sprouts that are coming out. I'm just trying different things. And then we have 3 basil plants that I also replanted into these bigger ones. And now comes the main subject of this video. Paul said the other day the soldier ants were coming and they were bringing aphids. This is the funniest thing in the world. Soldier ants, the word got around and they said, hey, there are some plants up there on this balcony, so let's go all the way up, and because this is like 3 stories high, and usually we had no ants here, and we didn't have ants in the kitchen either. And so somehow they must have smelled the basil or something. They came all the way up here underneath that gap on the bottom, and then up on those legs and then into the plants. I don't even know how they made it across the water in the bases for the pots. So because the pots, they don't even touch the base. This is kind of weird. They must be swimming or something. It's quite something with those ants. So, but the funny part is they bring aphids, which are lice. They are plant lice, and the soldier ants, they cultivate those. They actually breed them. They breed the aphids, those lice, and then they milk them. I think they eat the poop that comes out of the rear end of the aphids, and so that's their food, or it's one of their favorite foods. So that's why it's really interesting. So that's why they bring them to every sweet smelling plant, and then the aphids can get cultivated, you can multiply, and they damage the plants, but the ants eat, they milk the aphids. So what we did is, it was starting to get bad, and some of the leaves already started to get a little bit yellow on the top there. And these aphids, they can actually destroy the plants. So what we do is we sprinkle diatomaceous earth on it. John Kohler from Grow Your Own Greens talks about it. He gives very vital information. I recommend him. I'll put his link under my video. And I learned about the multiple uses of diatomaceous earth on the internet. As I was studying about health and nutrition, I found it. And so I'm taking that internally every day, like 1 tablespoon of diatomaceous earth mixed into a cup of water. Tastes really good, and it's very good for your whole system, and it even gets rid of parasites. And so the diatomaceous earth sprinkled on leaves will dehydrate the ants and the aphids. So, and it took care of it, was that there's no more aphids and no more ants. So the few ants that were there, they're not even moving anymore. So they dry up, and then they're no longer functioning. Same with the aphids. So it saves your plants, and you never ever have to use pesticides. So this is the solution. Diatomaceous earth is the solution for growing your own greens. And I also just wanted to show this today. I don't know if it comes out with this light very well. I'm upstairs here in my studio. I'm making art right now with different colors, and I like earth tones, and that's why I like the cosmetic that I made myself. I made it with diatomaceous earth, and diatomaceous earth has so many amazing capabilities, what it can do for you, you know, even cleaning things in the household. Like if you have stains in the sink, this diatomaceous earth, it's a little bit like borax. It has similar ingredients in it, a lot of that kind of stuff, and it has also mainly has like a plankton cells that have been crystallized and that are in a sedimentation in the desert from an ancient sea, from an ancient ocean. And so people mine this powder, and they sell it. And there's 2 types of diatomaceous earth. One is for cleaning swimming pools, which is not the food grade. This one you do not want to use for anything other than cleaning a pool. So I'm talking about the diatomaceous earth that is food grade. This is very important to pay attention to this. You have to buy food grade diatomaceous earth, and you can buy it in different amounts. Obviously, I did a lot of research on the internet. The best price, the best deal I found is a 50-pound bag, and that cost me around a little over $20, and that's pretty darn good. And that will last us for a year or 2, or maybe more. So it's really great. It also gets rid of mold. It kills mold. So if you have mold problems somewhere, you can sprinkle it on dry, or you can also put it on in a mix of water. You can scrub it, the area, with like a diatomaceous paste made with water mixed into it. It liquefies very fast, and it doesn't need very much water to make that become like a liquid paste. And it rinses off really easily, so it does not leave any stains behind. It gets rid of stains. So for bathtub or something, that's like way better than borax or any of the other things. But what I really praise it for the most is that we can use that instead of toxic materials. So it is perfect, you know. And I want everybody to tell everyone you know, about this, because then we can eliminate the use of pesticides. And I gave links under my other videos. About one is my pesticide article on which I have worked for like several years. Actually, initial work was a couple of months, and then I have updated it throughout the years. And I've done excessive research on this for months and months and years. Researched about the pesticides and what they do, and how dangerous they are for all of us, for planet Earth. So we need to get rid of pesticides. Be careful, there's an entire lobby behind it, and this lobby is marketed by market psychologists. People are made, again, they use slander, and they use peer pressure, and they use shaming to get people to ignore alternative methods, because the alternative methods are standing in the way of the profit making of the harsh toxins. So you have to pay attention when you talk to people. Know where the money trail goes to. Always keep in mind who is the one who is profiting. Okay, you can't patent something like diatomaceous earth. Therefore you can't become ultra rich on this one thing, because you don't hold a monopoly over it. Other people can sell it too. So then we have market competition and so on. The stuff that's toxic is patented always. You know, the stuff that has not been researched, usually not researched enough. Toxic stuff can never be researched enough to know, and keep in mind how many animals had to suffer for testing toxic stuff like Roundup. It's actually against the law to use Roundup in Europe. It's called glyphosate, the raw ingredient in Roundup. Glyphosate is an extremely toxic pesticide. You do not want to use this, or any pesticides. So that's why I promote natural methods. I promote diatomaceous earth, which works actually even better than pesticides, and it doesn't harm your septic tank, worms. It doesn't harm any kind of aquatic life, and any kind of stream, any kind of frog. You know, the earthworms are not harmed by diatomaceous earth. They have thick enough skin. Diatomaceous earth does kill internal parasites, including the large ones, or any one, even little ones, microbial ones like E. coli. All of this gets killed and gets flushed out of the system with diatomaceous earth. It's really amazing. It is very strengthening for the hair and the skin, and the cosmetic you can make out of it is just amazing. It feels good. I made the eyeshadow with a mix of diatomaceous earth. I put olive oil into it. Let me recollect all the things that I put in. I put green bentonite clay into it. So anybody can do it, you know. So there is no patent on this, and everybody can create that themselves in their own kitchen, you know. And I think that's what we should do, instead of feeding corporations which do not use natural ingredients and which test their cosmetic on rabbits and other animals, you know, making them cry, making them tear, making them develop ulcers. And unbelievable things. I'm not even getting into it right now. It's just unbelievably cruel, the kind of stuff that is going on in those laboratories. We do not want to support this. Only if you want to buy cosmetic, if you don't have time to make your own cosmetic, make sure that the cosmetic you buy has that PETA bunny label. That's the highest award for ethics, awarded by PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. I actually have that t-shirt on here, and it is a bunny label, and I will also post a link for that under my video to show you how that bunny label looks like. It's like the drawn face of a bunny, and it has these two really large ears, and it's in pink, and it has some writing underneath. I think PETA Safe Cosmetic or something like this. I have to look it up again, but it's this bunny label. So whatever I buy, when I buy something, I make sure it has that bunny label on it. That assures you that no animals had to suffer, neither in some laboratories nor in subcontracting laboratories, because some people they try to get around the law, and they will word it like what the Bush administration always used to do. They will word it in a way to make you think they haven't tested it, but in fact they have. So some people will say, we haven't tested it, so but they paid a company to test it. It's a subcontracting company. So we want to make sure that neither a company nor a subcontracting company has been deployed in the manufacturing of a specific cosmetic or food or dog food or so on. So we want to get away from all this cruelty and suffering, and it is important that people inform themselves. This is the number one, like, this is our duty. We don't want to go into a store and support this type of suffering. So we want to be informed, and in order to get informed, sometimes we have to look at the facts, and the facts are sometimes painful. You know, I have cried my eyes out. I have fallen under the table when I saw what the military has done to dogs, testing bioweapons on dogs. It's too much. It's too much for me to take. I can't live like this, and but yet if I bleep out, I'm not going to be here to help anyone. So I have to find somehow the golden middle path to not be extremely crushed on the ground and so depressed that I can't handle anything anymore. Then I won't be of help. I won't be of help if I'm not here anymore. So I have to find a way to make my life easier, to have fun in my life, to have good times, to feed myself, to be good to myself, and then be able to have this refreshed strength and be able to read all of this and handle it. And I don't go into the really hard stuff. I have to like do this when I read something, when I have to go past all of these horrible images. I go all the way to the bottom, and I always see way more than I want to, but at the bottom is usually the petition. They want people to see it, because otherwise people don't see really enough of a compelling reason to sign it. You have to see it in order to know what's going on, in order to know what we're going against, you know. So please do it if you care. If you care about animals, don't ignore this. Don't go out and buy cosmetic that has been tested on those poor animals, rabbits and other animals, particularly those large white rabbits. This is absolutely horrific. They sit in tiny cages, even if the testing, even if something isn't hurting them, they are sitting in these tiny cages their whole lives. They have never seen grass, they have never seen the sky, they have never seen the sun or birds or trees, you know. And I'll put the link of the bunny rescue video from Peter underneath as well. These animals have never seen a daylight. They have only seen neon lights, and they have only been squished in with other rabbits in tiny confinement. And can you imagine if somebody did this to you? You know, that would be called Holocaust. What they do is the same thing. It's the Holocaust. It's no difference. So it is insane, an insane atrocity. It's a breach of rights. It's a breach of health rights for other living beings, and it's the same as if you put a prisoner in a tiny cage. Yeah, it's the same thing, no difference. So please consider natural. You will also save money on this. And I made the colors, as you can see, they come out very, very, very pale. It's not like aggressive blues, or they even have some kind of lapis lazuli blue, which Vala, Dr. Hauschka, uses. This is a natural mineral. It's a very strong blue. It's like this blue here, maybe even stronger. But I don't necessarily have to have like really strong cosmetic. I'm a clean hippie type, you know. I like natural shades, and I made the lipstick also. It is a very, very nice pale red, and I like it. And Dr. Hauschka, again, they have really strong reds, like that Nabi there, red like that, or red like this. So they have those, but unfortunately Dr. Hauschka uses crushed bugs to make, it's called carmeline, I think. It's that material from the crushed bugs, and that keeps its color, obviously. And they make very crimson reds with that as well. But yeah, it's natural. I just personally am vegan, and I am against using any kind of living being. So any kind of free moving living existence. Yeah. So plants, yes, plants don't have a nervous system. A bug already has a beginning of a nervous system. You know, I don't know. This is a sliding scale, but I prefer not to use bugs, and so. But it's better to use bugs than to use the ingredients of a really sentient being. So really highly sentient beings. You know, that's absolutely. When it comes to highly sentient beings like horses, humans, and dogs, and pigs, and cows, and so on, and rabbits, you know, those have the right. Those have the ethical birthright to have help, have freedom, and have protection. Okay, that applies to all of us, and we have to keep this in consideration. Okay, you guys take care. Peace.